The High One's Sayings, Havamal. You must look all ways at once when crossing the threshold of a hall. You never know what hidden foes sit in wait along the wall. All grace goes to the givers. A guest has arrived, but where shall we seat him? Anxious is he who sits at the hearth to test his mettle. A fire is the first thing a wanderer wants, if frozen to the knee. Dry garb and grub are a must for whoever's come over the mountains. Water is a want of someone who's come for a meal. A towel and a warm welcome. Good nature, if they can get it. Both speech and silence in equal measure. Any wanderers who roam far and wide must have wits. A dim wit may be bright at home, but abroad one must be brighter. The witless get ridiculed, sitting with the wise. No man should crow about his brain. One must watch his wits. A silent savant who comes to a house will seldom be dishonored if discreet. No one's ever had a better friend than a well-shouldered head. The discreet guest stays mum at meals, keeping his eyes and his ears wide. This is how the wise become wise. He who gets goodwill and adoration for himself will be happy. He who stakes claim to the hearts of other men will be met with strife. He who retains good repute and wisdom while he lives will be happy. Often from the hearts of others we reap rotten advice. There are no better wares to bear on the road than sharp wits. In strange lands, they're better than riches. Real riches make the poorest wares. There are no better wares to bear on the road than sharp wits. One couldn't carry worse wares across the land than to be wasted on ale. Ale's not as good for the sons of men as they say it is. The more a man drinks, the less he knows of his own notions. The heron of oblivion's circles above he who swills ale at ale feasts and snatches his wrists. I was fettered once by those feathers in Gunnald's court. I got drunk. I got so drunk in Fjallar's hall. The best ale feasts are those where one can reclaim his wits the next day. A princeling must be pensive and silent, but bold in battle. Until their death day, all men must be jolly and joyful. Ninnies think they'll live forever by foregoing fights, but old age offers no treaty, even though spears might. A ninny gapes when he visits. He mutters to himself, acts the idiot. It all falls down upon the man when he swigs beer and his wits are laid bare. A well-traveled traveler alone knows what wits men have at their command. He who has traveled is a man with good sense. Don't grasp the cup too tightly. Moderately measure your mead. No one who goes to bed early can be blamed for his bad behavior. The glutton, unless he has self-control, will eat himself into a life of strife. He'll be ridiculed by the wise, he whose belly is a ninny. Cows know when to come home and lay off the grass, but the ninny never knows the depth of his own gut. He's a scoundrel, a vile villain. He who ridicules everything, he who knows not what he ought to, that he himself's not flawless. Ninnies stay up all night, pondering their problems. By morning, they're much more weary, and things are as bad as they were before. A ninny assumes that all who smile at him are his friends. When he sits beside the wise, he doesn't see they're laughing at him. A ninny thinks all who laugh alongside him are his friends, but arriving at the thing, he finds few will ally with him. A ninny thinks he knows it all when he's cornered, but he doesn't know how to answer if anyone asks. A ninny who comes into a crowd would do best to keep quiet. Those in the know wouldn't know otherwise, as long as he stays mum. But he who knows nothing knows not when he talks too much. He who knows how to ask and answer seems wise. The sons of men can't hide what one says about another. There's enough claptrap said by the unsilent. Unless the keeper keeps his tongue, his running off at the mouth will be his ruin. One should never look down at another who's come to visit. One looks wiser by sidestepping questions, and also stays unscathed. One is wise to beat a retreat when a guest mocks another guest. He who mocks others at a feast could well be doing so amongst foes. Many are amiable, but brawl at feasts. Men will always argue with men. Guests always pester guests. Pre-eat before going to visit a friend, otherwise you will sit lustily, too ravenous to talk to anyone. A bad friend's house is out of the way, even if it's on your way. A dear friend's house is always on your way, even if it's out of the way. One must move on, and not outstay one's welcome. One once loved will soon be loathed if he doesn't know when to leave another's home. Even if it's tiny, one's own home is best. Everyone's a hero in his own home. 2 goats and a half-thatched roof is better than begging. Even if it's tiny, one's own home is best. Everyone's a hero in his own home. One's heart bloodies if he has to beg to eat each meal. On the open road, don't ever go far from your weapons. No one ever knows for sure when he'll need his spear. I've never met a giving man, no matter how generous. With food, he is. Who wouldn't count the gifts he gets? Whatever a man amasses, he must never be stingy with. Often what he keeps for loved ones goes to those he loathes. It often turns out much worse than he wished for. One should give weaponry and cloth to make his friends happy. Those who bestow and reap equally will remain best friends while it lasts. To a friend, be a friend. A gift for a gift. A laugh for a laugh should be gotten by all, and give only untruths for lies. To a friend, be a friend. And so it goes for a friend's friend. One must never befriend a non-friend's friend, or even a friend of a friend's foes. So if you've a dear friend you trust, and want nothing more than good fortune for him, give him gifts, and visit him often. If you don't trust someone, but still wish him no ill will, say nice things to him, but no, he's a ninny. Give only untruths for lies. The other thing about the untrustworthy, if you think his thoughts are suspect, smile at him, but hide your mind, and give a gift for a gift. When I was young, I traveled alone, yet noticed I'd gone astray. But I quickly became rich when I met someone else. Men rejoice in men. The bold and carefree live their best lives and rarely suffer sorrow. A coward fears all. A miser grieves at getting gifts. On the plains I gave up all my clothes to 2 wooden men. Clothed they looked like warriors. A nude man is embarrassed. A fir all alone in a grove will wilt. Its bark and needles give it no shelter. It's the same for he who's unloved. For 5 days an affection will burn hotter than a fire between bad friends. By the 6th day it will wilt, and affection will turn to affliction. You need not give grandly. A lot of praise often comes from little. A half loaf and a tipped cup have won me fast friends. On little shores of little lakes, the men have little minds. Not everyone has equal intelligence. Some are smart, some aren't. You don't need to be overly wise. One should only be half wise. The one with just enough wits leads the best of lives. You don't need to be overly wise. One should only be half wise. A wise one's heart is rarely joyful if he's wholly wise. You don't need to be overly wise. One should only be half wise. Whoever doesn't fully know his fate has the most carefree spirit. Sparks inflame sparks. Firebrands pass flames to firebrands until they smolder. Man gives words to man. Without them one is dumb. One must be an early riser to rob a man of his life or hoard. A sleeping wolf never drowns a ham. A sleepy man is never triumphant. If one is short on slaves, one must be an early riser to inspect the work that's done. Those who sleep through morning are neglectful. Wealth is half won by the wakeful. A man must know the worth of kindling and thatch bark and the lot of wood that will get you through 3 to 6 months. Even if one isn't well dressed, one must be spotless and fully fed before riding to an assembly. Don't be ashamed if your breeches, boots, or horse are humdrum. A lone eagle reaching an ancient sea cranes and crooks its neck. So too does a man arriving at an assembly who realizes he has few allies. If you want to be called wise and clever, you must master asking and answering. One may know, two may not. Once 3 or more know, the whole world knows. Every wise man should be moderate with his might. Meeting with other brave men, he'll see no one's braver than the rest. Anything one says to another is often repaid in full. I've arrived too early to places and too late to others. Either the ale was all swallowed or not yet brewed. The hated are never timely. I've often been invited to a house and not been hungry, or found 2 hams hung at a dear friend's when I'd already eaten one. For the sons of men, fire is indispensable, as is the sight of the sun. So too is health, if one can keep it, and living without disgrace. No man is wretched, even if he's unwell. One man is blessed with sons, one with friends, one with riches, while others are blessed in the deeds they do. It is better to be alive than lifeless. It's the living who score the cow. I saw a fire flare for the rich man, though he lay dead outside his door. The lame can be a horse. The handless can handle herds. In the battle din, the deaf can win. Better to be blind than pyre burnt. A corpse is worthless. A son is best if born after his father's dead. Memorial stones rarely rise by the roadside unless kin raise them for kin. 2 conquerors, one, the tongue can butcher the brain. In each fur sleeve I see the hand. Night's welcomed if you've enough provisions. A ship's yards are short. Fall nights fluctuate. In 5 days there can be all kinds of weather, even more over a month. He who knows nothing knows that money fools many. Some are rich, others poor. On this front, it's not their fault. Cattle die, kinsmen die. You yourself will die. But glory never dies, for he who can get it. Cattle die, kinsmen die, you yourself will die. Yet I know what never dies, the judgment given to the dead. I saw the brimming paddocks of Fitjung's sons, but now they bear beggars' staves. Wealth's the twinkle of an eye, it makes the falsest friend. When a fool wins wealth or a woman's love, his head swells, but not his brains, and so he goes on, delusional. What you've asked of the runes has been proven. Runes hewn by the potent powers. Runes that came from the potent powers. Runes stained by the mighty one. It's best to keep quiet if you have them. Come nightfall, praise day, praise your wife burning on her pyre. Praise a sword once it's tested, a girl being wed, ice once you've crossed it, ale once you've swallowed it. In fair wind, row. When it wails, cut wood. Talk to girls in the dark. Ask a ship for speed, a shield for safety, a sword for sharpness, a girl for kisses. Swill ale at a fireside. Slide over ice. Buy a slim steed and a blood-splattered sword. Fatten your horse at home, a hound in its own homestead. One must never trust a woman's words, nor whatever a girl says. Their hearts were tossed on a whirring wheel, their breasts stuffed with whimsy. Nor trust a groaning bough, a cackling flame, a wolf's yap, a crow's croak, a sow's scrunt, a rootless tree, a wave's surge, a kettle's boil. A dart's flight, a wave's fall, an overnight ice, an adder's coil, a bride's imbibing, a shattered sword, a bear's play, or a king's kid. Sick calves, a free-thinking slave, a slick seeress, a fresh corpse. Don't trust a freshly sown field, nor a premature sun. Weather controls crops. Wilts rule the sun. They're all equally iffy. Don't trust your brother's butcher. If you meet him on the street, don't trust a half-charmed house. A coltish horse is useless with broken legs. Don't be so trusty as to trust any of these. A false-hearted lady's love is like riding across ice on an unshod colt, or being in a gale on a rudderless boat, or like a cripple hunting reindeer on a thawing slope. I say this plainly, as I know both sides. Men's heads are faithless when it comes to women. We speak fairly, but think falsely. This ensnares the wisest spirits. Speak fairly, and give money to woo a woman, rave about her brilliant body. The wooer is the winter. No man should mock another who's in love. On beautiful women, many a wise man has been ensnared, where a ninny cannot be caught. No man should mock what can happen to most men. Love pulls in the sons of men, making ninnies of many wise men. Only the mind knows what's dear at the heart. It alone sees into the psyche. It's worse than any disease for the wise to go unloved. I realized this as I waited in the reeds for the woman I loved. She was body and psyche to me, yet I never did win her. I found Billings' girl, sun-clad and asleep on a bed. A noble's due meant nothing to me compared to her body. Odin, you must come again tonight if you want to woo this girl. All's lost if anyone else sees the fiendishness between us. I turned back, looking for love, back for an assured pleasure. I was sure I deserved her, all her love, all her lust. But when I arrived, a horde of warriors was at the ready, their torches blazing, their spears high. My pitiful path was laid bare. Near dawn, when I returned, the hall's horde was asleep, and instead of a lovely maid, a bitch was bound to her bed. Many gorgeous gals, once you get to know them, have flip-flop hearts when it comes to men. I found this out seeking to seduce a gifted girl into certain acts. That gifted girl dealt me every humiliation. All that. And I never even won her. At home, a man must be high-spirited with his guests, but also high-minded with himself, and talk his thoughts keen in order to stay wise. A ninny he'll be called if he unwisely has little to say. That is the sure sign of a ninny. I'm back from meeting the old Jotun, Suttung, in his hall. I would have got a lot less staying silent. Instead, I wove my own fate with words. Gunwald gave me on his golden throne a goblet of deadly, or rather dearly gotten mead. Yet for all her heart and sorrowful psyche, I repaid her with poor rewards. With Ratty's teeth I chewed through the rock beneath and above Jotun Road. I put my head in harm's way. I put my disguise to good use. Wise men want little. Now Odrerir has arisen to roam within the sacred borders of men. I couldn't have returned from Jotunheim if not for Gunwald, that great lady who lay in my arms. The following day, Frost Jotuns came to the High One's hall, and found Odin there, and asked, "Is Bolverk with the gods, or has Suttung slain him?" I think Odin swore sacred ring oaths. How can he be trusted? He left Suttung meadless, and deceived Gunnlod the senseless. It's time to speak from the sage's seat. What says Urd's well? I looked and listened. I saw and thought, listening to men's words. I heard them unraveling the runes in the High One's hall, saying, "Listen, Lord Fafnir, to my advice. It'll help if you have it. It'll do you good if you get it. Don't leave your bed at night, except for a look-see, or to find a place to pee. Listen, Lord Fafnir, to my advice. It'll help you if you have it. It'll do you good if you get it. Don't lie in a witch's arms long enough for her to charm your limbs. She'll charm you into not attending assemblies or the king. You won't eat or meet people, and just lay yourself sadly to sleep. Listen, Lord Fafnir, to my advice. It'll help you if you have it. It'll do you good if you get it. Don't talk another's wife into being a close confidant. Listen, Lord Fafnir, to my advice. It'll help you if you have it. It'll do you good if you get it. If you go to a fjord or a mountain, bring the proper provisions. Listen, Lord Fafnir, to my advice. It'll help you if you have it. It'll do you good if you get it. Don't let a villain know your woes. From a villain you'll never get good wishes. I saw a wicked woman's words wound a man. A catty tongue brought about his death, and yet there was no truth in the slander. Listen, Lord Fafnir, to my advice. It'll help you if you have it. It'll do you good if you get it. If you've a trusty friend, see him often. Brambles and weeds grow upon a trail no one treads. Listen, Lord Fafnir, to my advice. It'll help you if you have it. It'll do you good if you can get it. Secure a man's trust, and you'll learn healing spells all your life. Listen, Lord Fafnir, to my advice. It'll help you if you have it. It'll do you good if you can get it. Don't be the first to break a friendship off. Pain eats out the heart if you've no one to share your thoughts. Listen, Lord Fafnir, to my advice. It'll help you if you have it. It'll do you good if you get it. Don't swap words with wingnuts. An evil man will never give you a good return. Good men will bring you respect and pleasure. The true ties of kinship are when you can tell each other your thoughts. Anything is better than deceit. No one's a friend who says only what you want to hear. Listen, Lord Fafnir, to my advice. It'll help you if you have it. It'll do you good if you get it. Don't waste even these 3 words on the unworthy. The better to hold back when the worst pushes forth. Listen, Lord Fafnir, to my advice. It'll help you if you have it. It'll do you good if you get it. Never make shoes or spear shafts unless they're for yourself. Crooked shafts and misshapen shoes will curse you. Listen, Lord Fafnir, to my advice. It'll help you if you have it. It'll do you good if you get it. If you see evil, say so. Never give your foes peace. Listen, Lord Fafnir, to my advice. It'll help you if you have it. It'll do you good if you get it. Don't get glee from grotesquerie. Only get glee from goodness. Listen, Lord Fafnir, to my advice. It'll help you if you have it. It'll do you good if you get it. Never glance skyward during combat. Warriors often get hysterical, and you might be bewitched. Listen, Lord Fafnir, to my advice. It'll help you if you have it. It'll do you good if you get it. If you want to talk intimately with a woman and be pleasured, make promises you'll uphold. If he can get them, no one hates good things. Listen, Lord Fafnir, to my advice. It'll help you if you have it. It'll do you good if you get it. Be careful, but not too careful. Be alert with ale, and wary of another's wife. And thirdly, may thieves leave you be. Listen, Lord Fafnir, to my advice. It'll help you if you have it. It'll do you good if you get it. Never rebuff or jeer a houseguest or wayfarer. Those already sitting in a hall can't always know a newcomer's kin. No one's without faults, nor so evil he's worthless. Listen, Lord Fafnir, to my advice. It'll help you if you have it, or it'll do you good if you get it. Don't laugh at gray-haired sages. Often the old say sage things. Sometimes wise words emerge from a wrinkled sack, or from someone with a hanging hide, one hung among the skies, slinking among skins, a sunken hide, one creeping amongst skins, swaying with the cheesecloth bags. Listen, Lord Fafnir, to my advice. It'll help if you have it. It'll do you good if you get it. Don't badmouth a guest or banish him from the gate. Treat the destitute with kindness. It's a hefty lock beam that must be swung to grant everyone entrance. You've got to give guests rings, or every ill will be wished on your limbs. Listen, Lord Fafnir, to my advice. It'll help you if you have it. It'll do you good if you get it. If you drink ale, take in some of the earth's strength. Earth combats inebriation just as fine and fertile fire combats infections. Oak combats constipation. Axed weeds combat witchcraft. Elder bush combats household quarrels. The moon must be invoked against malice. Earthworms combat stings and bites. Runes combat evil, just as the earth can hold back a flood. I know I hung in a winded tree 9 whole nights, spear-pierced, ardent to Odin, me to myself on that tree, whose tap roots no one will ever know. No one brought me bread, nor any horns to sip. I stared down. I clung to the runes, screamed, clutched at them, and sank. I received 9 strong songs from the famous son of Boltthorn, Bestla's father. I stole a sip of that most glorious mead which leaked out of old Revere. I began to wizen and quicken. I bloomed, I blossomed. One word turned to two, one deed grew to two. You must find the runes and read them. Strong symbols, powerful symbols, stained by the mighty sage, hewn by the potent powers, all etched by the rune master. Odin of the Aesir, Dane of the elves, Dvalin of dwarves, Asvid of the Jotuns. I carved some myself. Can you carve? Can you read? Can you stain? Can you test? Can you conjure? Can you sacrifice? Can you unleash? Can you slaughter? Better not to conjure than to sacrifice too much. Gifts seek gifts. Better unslayed than slain. Fund carved them at the creation of nations and rose upon his return. I know spells that the wives of nobles and the sons of men don't know. I know one called Help. It helps you against grief, hostility, and sadness. I know a second that the sons of men need to know if they want to be healers. I know a third that if I wish it would hold my foes at bay, it blunts the blades of my foes, so much so that their weapons and bats can't bite. I know a fourth that breaks any fetters men have brought forth for my limbs. I say the words and walk free. My legs fling off fetters, manacles march off my arms. I know a fifth that'll halt any spear or arrow that's flung at warriors. I just have to see them, and I can stop them from flying straight. I know a sixth, should someone slip me strong wood root, he who tried to harm me will harm only himself. I know a seventh, should the roof of a high hall be aflame above my bench friends, this charm I chant stops the burn and saves them. I know an eighth, that's easy enough for most to know. If the sons of warriors become inflamed, I can quickly quench their fury. I know a ninth, should the need be dire, that will save my ship. I can make the wind quiet, quiet in its waves, so it sedates the sea. I know a tenth, should I spot witches riding the sky, that causes them to take leave of their skins, to take leave of their minds. I know an 11th. If I have to lead old friends into battle, I chant under their shields, so they go mightily, unharmed into the fray, unharmed out of the fray, unharmed wherever they walk. I know a 12th. If I see a corpse swaying high in a tree, I carve and stain certain runes that make him walk and talk with me. I know a 13th, if I must. I douse a younger warrior with water, and he'll wade into war unsinkable by any sword. I know a 14th. If before a horde I'm asked to list all the gods and men I know about all the Aesir and the elves, few ninnies know this much. I know a 15th, one the dwarf Thjordredir chanted at Delling's door. He chanted power for the Aesir, triumph for the elves, sagacity for the sage. I know a 16th. If I need a wise woman's lust, this chant warps the hearts and minds of white-armed women to me. I know a 17th that makes young maids unable to leave me. Lord Fafnir, you wish you knew these chants. They'd do you good could you get them. They'd benefit you if you could have them. You'd profit could you steal them. The 18th I can never tell. To girls or wives, it's the last of my chance. It's better if no one knows it but the woman in my arms, or maybe my sister. Now, in High One's hall, the High One's words have been said, helpful to the sons of men, useless to the sons of Jotuns. Best of luck to those who sing them. Best of luck to those who've learnt them. May all who've heard them heed them. Best of all luck to those who've listened.